Welcome to your coronavirus update and market commentary. Mark Kunaberti, financial columnist and radio talk show host. Let's get right to it. Let's cover the coronavirus statistics right now. And we're seeing now somewhere in the area of 2.5 million cases worldwide, 172,000 deaths, and 210 countries affected. We won't go through the individual countries. You all know what's happening as far as how bad this is, but let's just go over the news as far as the stock market is concerned and the newest updates on the what's happening in Washington and the economy. Nevada County, where I am, 38 cases, one death. Not so bad. Washington is basically left it to the states to reopen. Many states are trying to reopen sooner rather than later, while there are many others that are saying we should not get complacent in how we open these things up. For the Washington News, $500 billion was just approved by the Senate for the Paycheck Protection Plan, the PPP. As you know, that plan ran out of money in the first few days, so they're trying to reload that. There's been some complaints and some upheaval about larger companies using that fund. Harvard has used it. President Trump has asked them to give it back. And we're seeing other large companies that are using it and the small companies be left out. So that is disturbing to say the least. We are seeing earnings being posted. We're into earnings season. I will tell you that the Dow high was 29,500 and some change, and the Dow low recently was 18,300. That's a 38% drop. After the Dow hit 18,300, it ran to where it was a few days ago, which is 24,000. Right, 24,250, right about there, which was a 25% increase in about 3.5 weeks. And in the last 2 days, when oil prices crashed into the negative territory, the Dow is off about 6%. In my opinion, the Dow will now probably start to fall again. I'm not saying it'll go to 18,300. I did think that weeks ago, but once the federal stimulus came out with roughly $5 trillion of stimulus and another $5 trillion in backup loans for companies and corporations and you name it, the 18,300 back test could be off the table. A 10% correction would not surprise me from the 24,000 level. That would be down about 2,500 points. It could go a little bit lower. It couldn't do anything, actually, but we'll see. The banks started posting his earnings. Obviously, their earnings are not very good. We did see Snapchat post earnings. Well, that's the stay-at-home economy we talked about before. What do people do when they're at home? Well, they're on Snapchat. They may be on Facebook. They're streaming movies. They're eating. They're drinking. Apparently, they're smoking a lot of marijuana. So there are certain areas that may profit from this shutdown, but it is an unfortunate situation. I myself forecast anywhere from 25 to 50 million people unemployed, if not more, 50 million mortgage defaults, and 25% of the small businesses in the United States going out of business. The nation's top public health official has issued a warning about a possible second wave of COVID-19 infections, maybe being worse than the first. That is only a warning, of course. President Trump has also initiated in the middle of initiating an immigration ban that would only apply to green card applicants and would be reevaluated after 2 months. Testing, COVID testing. Some people are screaming for COVID testing nationwide. Others are saying it's not necessary. Whatever the reason, the tests are in short supply. The reactive agents, the agents needed for the tests, some of them are made in China. In fact, a lot of them are made in China. So there you go. there is shortfalls, backlogs of inventory, things on the shelves are beginning to reappear, at least in Mayan County, but kind of a mess. There are some industries that are having a terrible, terrible time. The airlines are having a terrible time. They're having to park hundreds, if not thousands, of airliners, and they can't just be parked. They take up a lot of space. They have to be moved and started and lubricated, extremely costly. There have been bailouts to the airline industries. There have been bailouts to a lot of industries. Some of you will be very happy to know that the cruise line industries are not getting bailed out, the ones that register their ships overseas to avoid U.S. taxes. We're hearing about rich Americans, I mean super rich Americans, building bunkers, and a lot of them are fleeing to New Zealand to live in their already constructed bunkers and estates. I'm sure there are others that are moving to all other sorts of escape areas. I would imagine Hawaii is one of them, or wherever they go. So that's been a bone of contention for many. Restaurant chains are having a real hard time. Obviously, people are not going out to eat. And then there's been unemployment insurance. Through the EDD website. Of course, the website's been jammed with people, and so that's been also a nightmare. There's talk and arguments and debates about wearing masks and not wearing masks, of course, and so on and so forth. So the situation is definitely unprecedented. So we will just keep an eye on everything for you. I personally think once again that the market will go lower in the weeks to come. There are going to be some horrible earnings. Like I said, Snapchat posted very good earnings today, and other stay-at-home businesses, I think, will post very good earnings as well. Various studies coming out from Stanford saying that there are more people carrying COVID than we think, and they possibly suggested that it rolled through California back in December. So continue to watch the news on what is happening with COVID. There's an update usually on the evening news. Takes up the whole evening news for sure. This website, Facebook page under Mark Cunaberti will give you daily updates. Hopefully, it's been a couple of days since I've had an update because it's just been crazy busy in reporting the news and managing portfolios and all the other things that I do. And also the news is coming so fast and furious. Some of the news is just, more of the same, where it's a terrible situation. But economically, we're going to have to see what happens. This is going to be an extremely difficult time for America. We will come through it. There are some good things. People are enjoying staying at home more with their families. Some people are. And taking walks and enjoying life and kind of bringing us to a stop so we can realize what we have, both of those being a positive reflection. Again, their website, Facebook page is Mark Cunaberti. The YouTube channel is Mark Cunaberti, and you can get your market commentary and updates right here all in one spot. Thanks for watching, and be safe.